And welcome to Chic on the Cheap. So this week is also another continuation of the new room that I'm decorating in our house. I'm doing the whole room in a shabby chic theme, and I really wanted to create a canopy to go over the bed. Now, having a canopy made or buying a canopy can get really expensive, so this is my own idea on how to make a canopy. And the most important thing is that it's safe, because you don't want to put something over a child's bed that's not safe. So hopefully I've come up with an idea that can be safely mounted and installed, and it's really not too heavy once you finish the entire project. It's actually kind of light. So without further ado, here's how I designed my own canopy to go over the bed in this bedroom.
So to start, you're going to make the frame. You're going to need some 14 gauge wire, some wire cutters, some pliers, and a ruler. First, you're going to measure how wide you want this canopy to be. I wanted it to fit the length of the bed, so I measured my first bar in the back, and then I measured how deep I wanted, or how far I wanted that canopy to come out, and cut another piece of wire. I connected those two just like a capital T, and to make the connection, you want to take your pliers and just bend those wires just like this, hook it around the connection that you want to make, and then clamp it down in place. Now we're also going to reinforce this. I use hot glue just to hold it in place, and we'll go back and reinforce each connection with more wire at the end. So next I needed to start connecting some of the ends of my wire. To connect two ends, make two loops and then just clamp them both down on each other really hard using your pliers, and then again we'll go back and reinforce those connections. So that's just kind of how to make connections with this 14 gauge wire and pliers. And here's what a corner connection looks like. You want to try to get them as tight as you can so that they'll be strong. So here's the base of my canopy. The flat part goes against the wall, and then I started to make it kind of 3D. So I made the top half circle shape that would give me the shape of the canopy, how I wanted it to look, and then I started to fill it out with a 3D frame. So really the trick here is just to make your frame strong and keep adding wire until you have a good strong mesh of wire that will be strong enough to hold up fabric. So here was my finalized 14 gauge frame for the canopy, and then what I did was to go back with floral wire, which is a thin wire that you can find in the craft section, and I went back and reinforced each one of the places where I attached wire or where the wires crossed one another, and just wrap it around really tight like this so that you can make sure that your frame is strong and reinforced. So now it was time to attach this to the wall, but before I attached the wire frame, I had some help, and we started by attaching the fabric that was going to go over the canopy onto the wall with just a staple gun. So we stapled it really good so it was up there really tight, and this is just a light muslin that I used to cover it. And after we did that, we put the canopy where we wanted it on the wall, and we used some brackets to go ahead and just nail that canopy up to the wall. And here's a close-up of the brackets. They're actually little electrical wire brackets that you can find at a hardware store. And we also went back with the staple gun and stapled that frame to the wall so that it was a little bit stronger. So here's what it looks like. And the final steps, you're going to take that fabric and just pull it up over and staple it to the top and cover your entire wire frame with this under fabric. Once you have that done, what I did is went back with tulle and just hung tulle over it the way that I wanted it, and made kind of like a pretty ribbon thing in the front. So you can really decorate the canopy however you want once you have the basic covering, but this is my basic idea for a canopy.
Thanks again for watching, everybody, and make sure to join me right back here next week for more Chic on the Cheap.